Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Petit Papier. Today I will show you my latest journal. Um, so this journal is a bit special. I usually don't sell my journals. I don't give them away. I keep them for myself. But this one is for a very special friend. She is a very good friend of mine. She moved away and she just turned 30, and I promised her for her 30th birthday I would make her journal. She's a journaler. She just writes every day. She's the only one around me who writes. So she asked me to make one, and I know she's gonna use it. So that's why I really wanted to make at least one for her. So this is it. The journal is a bit like theme, like flowers, botanical, and some butterflies. It's I don't know, I was inspired by that. At first she's a runner, she's a hiker. At first I wanted to do something like more like a field journal, botanical field journals, but sometimes you start a project and it kind of goes somewhere and then it goes someplace else. So this is what I'm showing you today. So this is gonna be her gift. She also just moved from Montreal to Calgary, so she is in a house. I just wanted to like give her a little something to put in her house. This is super cute, so this is gonna go with her gift. And this is just the journal. It's actually three little parts. I'm just gonna open it. So this here, the journal, and then another part here, like two little folders, and this is the main journal. So I'm just gonna start by showing you the extras a little bit, and then we'll end up with the journal. So in this mini folder, oops, just right here, this is more like a little notebook with some botanical print, something that she can carry with her, and then that she can write, on her trip, or like just some type of notes in the house or whatever. And in this one here, I put a couple things for her to use. So I've created this little like file folder, and inside there's some embroidery print. She doesn't do embroidery, but like I thought it would be nice if she draws as well, and she paints. So I was just like, maybe she could like draw or paint around it, and if she wants to pick up embroidery, then she would have like a couple of patterns here like that. I made a writing board because it's going to be easier for her to actually write in a journal. Usually I don't make one because I keep them to myself, and I don't write personally. So I just thought she would need that. This is just a beautiful piece of natural, like handmade paper. I didn't make this, but you can see like a little bit of like, I would say it's flowers or any types of like plant in it. And I gave her, I've been carrying this for a little while, and just, I thought it would suit her. I thought it was the perfect gift for her. So this is a vintage map of Canada, and I feel there's a date somewhere. Yeah, 1972. So I feel like maybe she could put this in her house. The colors are pretty great. It's a very big map. I'm not going to open it, but this is going to go with her gift. And I'm just going to put this aside, and then we can do the main journal. I'm really proud of the cover. I think it's a really beautiful cover. So I picked up an old book, and I have glued this envelope in the back, and this is an old piece for like a photo album. It was thicker, so I thinned it, and then I put it here. And this is real leather. And this is a piece of fabric which had this print on it. I decided to like die cut it and put it here. So I'm just going to show you in the back what I put over there. So I said it's for her birthday. So inside I put this vintage postcard and it says in French, bonne fête, which is happy birthday, with this lovely stamp. So I can't say the date, but those types of vintage postcards are from like the 1910, 1905, around this time. There's nothing written in the back except here, my most sincere wishes, that's what it says, and she has plenty of space to like write on it if she wants to. So this goes in here, and in the front, I'm just gonna actually keep that so I can show you where there's pockets in these journals and little tuck spot. And in the front, this is how what I use. I use some how you call that? It's just some ribbon, seam binding. Yeah, I think it's seam binding fabric, and I just tied it like that. And if you see here, there's a little space, so she could put like a picture or something in here if she wanted to. So it opens, and this is the first pages. Here is a old diapo. I don't know how you call that in English. And I don't know if you could see, but it's like, no, you can't. But it's like a nature, like a mountain with like a river, so that fits. You know, like I said, she is a hiker, so it kind of fits like her vibe. I have, which like the whole hiking and like walking and outdoor activities kind of inspired me for this journal. Here, this is a vintage, you know, it was like a dictionary for English, Italian, French, and German. So I think it's for Switzerland, because you know in Switzerland they like speak multiple language. So this one is there was like pictures like that, and then there was like the description in the back and different like translation. So this one is specifically about hiking. So you have those two hiker here, and then you have the map, and then the compass, the tent, and then the grill, and like, so I thought it was pretty cool. So just let me explain for this journal. It's not overly decorated because like I said, she writes, so and I wanted her to put her own stuff, and so I made like a little spaces for her to write, and it's like it really, whoops, sorry guys. So it's really like more for her to like put our ephemera in it, pictures and stuff. So I put a couple things, but not too much. So inside here, just a piece of paper, a vintage lined paper, so she could write here like that. I also put this recipe, which is a orange and zucchini cake recipe. So my mind behind this, I put a couple of recipes in there because I was like, she's a hiker, she needs like, you know, snacks when she goes hiking. So I put a couple in there thinking that she might do that and bring it as a snack on her walks. And I left like the price of the book in there. This is not from this book specifically, but from another book, and I thought it was cool, so I just left it there. So here you can, like, this is a little bit of piece of ephemera on vellum, and then this is a rusty pin. You put it here, and this is so funny. This is a personal like information page from 1968. It was from a small notebook from the Reader Digest, and you have like a couple of like fun things to write, like your name, address, but there's also like credit cards, like who would write their credit cards there, but maybe in 1968 it would make sense, you know. And then you have like your driving permit, and then your insurance, you know. So it's a little like pocket here. And throughout the book, the only pictures I put are from a group of women who were like scouts. There's this lady who gave me all of her like dad's old girlfriend pictures from the 1920s and 30s and 40s, and it was all hers. She was in this scouts, how do you call that, like you know. And so this made me think of my friend who carries a backpack and go hiking, so I thought it was perfect. So she could write in the bag, or just like, you know, keep it here. She could write here on this envelope. And on this side, this is just, you know, cards where she can write. And this is just a rusty, like, you know, staple. There we go. This is from a vintage little booklet about trees. Since I'm in Canada, our main trees are like maple, so I took a page for a different type of maple. So this is the silver maple, and this one is the sugar maple. This little page here, so she could write. This is also embroidery patterns. Just a little, like, you know, here, pockets on this side with this. This is a wooden button, a little bit of lace, and some other cards where she can write. She could write here, and this is a tuck spot. So you can see, like, I use some of these like botanical paper here, and I love to decorate a lot with like vintage, like fake vintage, like you know, tape here, and some brown tape here. This is an actual flower, like a pressed flower. I just put a ton of glue on it, so it shouldn't move too much. And I thought it was just cool. She could make like an inspirational like quote, just a word like believe or anything that she would want that makes her think about something. This is a vintage, how you call that, registry, like those vintage ledger book. Yeah, so you can remove this. Every type of metal in here is mostly like rusted. This is a rusted paper clip, and then you can open it like this. I love this paper because you can see like all the rust from the original like binding. I think it's really nice like this. So plenty of spaces to write. This is, there's two signatures, so this is the middle of the first signature. I use the same fabric, and then to make some interest, I actually sewn places where she could write. She could use like a black marker or like a white marker, but these are, you know, lines. And this is again one of those pictures of this lady group of like, I don't know how you call it. In Quebec, we call them like Jeannette, which is basically like women scouts, I guess. So again, with the bag, I just love it on the tree stump, and just watching, I feel it's a very beautiful picture. And this is a tuck spot right here. This is just like I made a little bit of stamping, and when you open this, I'm just gonna show on the other side like that. And when you open this here, there's a big bunch of like paper where she can write. So plenty of spaces to write, and, you know, put pictures. She could put a picture here if she wanted to, you know. And on this side, there's another vintage like picture. This is the sunset on the Restigouche. This is NB, so New Brunswick. My friend is from New Brunswick. She's a French speaker from Edmundston, and I just thought it was cool because she's from there, so I really wanted to put this one here in here for her. And on this side, you have this journaling card here, and then she could write in the back. And there's some space to write here. This is avocado dyed paper. Now, this paper here is very special. My granddad did some doodles in a notebook, and it, along the way, like, it got like stained and then wet, and the ink created all kinds of beautiful colors all through the book. And this is one of the pages, which is like now like a beautiful shade of pink. Some pages are blue. I mean, I really like using them in some of my journals. I think it's really pretty. So this is just like a small tuck spot here. On this side, I have another one of the diapositive. This one is like the sea. So again, like here, again, a natural kind of setting, and you know, just beautiful. Here, this is on vellum, and this is a rusty safety pin. And then when you open it, there's a few things for her to use and maybe glue around. So those pink mushrooms. This is a small, like, you know, just insect survey, whatever. I just thought it was fun if she wanted to like put a little doodle or something or whatever, or like type in the name of an insect she found. Today's list, and you know, just a label I got. I don't really use anything that's store-bought anymore. This I purchased maybe 3 years ago. I don't really use it, and I thought she might like it. It's more like her style. Like, so on this side, spaces here to write a little bit, and this is another, like, you know, kind of interesting pages with butterflies, and then, you know, those fake vintage tape that I make. And then you open it like that, and you have pockets with this yellowed, naturally yellowed plastic. And then there's a pocket here, and then the bigger pocket here. And this is one of these recipes. This is a raspberry bar. So, you know, again, some sort of snack that she could bring, you know, on her hikes and walks in nature. The other side of this page, so this is the Pennsylvanian maple, and this is the red maple. This is the last bit of this signature. So this is another like envelope that I stained with coffee stained, and I put some stamps here from Canada. So I went with the color scheme of this journal, so like a little bit more pink and then natural. So you have the duck and the mountains, and this is from Banff. You don't see the bee, but it's from Banff. And then here, which is another like I guess it would be the sea or lake or like the shore. And you open it, and it's just like some leftover from that ledger paper. This one I think is from the 50s. So here on this side, I just put like this little string here, so if she writes, she can put it in between whenever she wants. I usually like to put something here, but I didn't want it to bother her if she was bringing it with her or like writing with it, so I decided to just put nuts just to have some sort of interest. But usually I like to put buttons or anything like that. But I just think it would be like, it would just be annoying for her to have this banging around if she was carrying it. So this is avocado dyed paper here, and this is another kind of booklet that I got that's similar to the other one with trees, but this one is with mushrooms, so I decided to put that. I have no idea if these ones are like you can find these in Canada. I guess so. I think it's like Canadian mushrooms or like North Americans, definitely. This is another one of these beautiful pages that I told you about from my grandfather's book. So you can see the natural stains and the pink, I think. Like, just so amazing. This I decided to coffee dye a little bit of the parchment paper. I think it's tracing paper, this one. I stamped on this heavy canvas fabric, and this is held by this you know, I think it's bowl clip. Yeah, this bowl clip that is a kind of rusted. It kind of rusted quite a lot, so it's pretty fragile. And then it's like, it's a flip out, fabric flip out, and then she can right here, the staples here are like also rusted. And on this page, I really like this one with the butterfly, and then, you know, like the coffee dyed here. And this is pretty interesting. Like I said, she dries and everything. So I've had this like kind of plastic with graphic thing, and I decided to like put it here because this is tracing paper. So I thought it would be super fun that she would have this here, and it's pretty solid, so she could like, you know, write, and then she has proportions in the back like this. and underneath there's a tuck spot here, and there's a few other papers, so she could use, you know, if she brings it with her outside, she could, you know, decide to draw a flower or anything that she's, you know, observing. So I think it's a pretty cool like feature of this journal. Avocado dyed paper, you know, plenty of space to write. Like I said, this is some sort of like a flip out, you know, paper pad. So it's tied up with this here. She could remove it and add some more if she wanted to, or like remove them. It's not like sewn in, it's really just tied up. So a couple of vintage paper here. Everything is like naturally aged. I don't age any of my stuff. So plenty of space to write in the back here. This is the middle of the second signature, again with this beautiful fabric that I die cut and just I glued it onto some tracing paper and then on here, and I made again some sewing lines here that kind of she can write here with a special like pen. This is another rusty safety pin with like a vintage lace, and then you can see there's little beads here. So a lot of space to write again here. This is another of these dried flowers that I glued here. It's pretty solid. I don't think it's, unless you like kind of really like go at it and try to remove it, it will be removed. But if you just look at it or just like close the page, I don't think it's gonna, you know, destroy itself. I really like this page. I think it's pretty. And on this side, I just added this little piece here. She can write maybe like a couple of like sentences or just like inspiration on words again. On this side, I love this again. This is kind of a belly band, but with like the butterflies here. She can remove that as well if she wanted. So I really like this page. I think it's pretty cute. And this is the last recipe, and this one is handwritten, and it's a rice pudding. And you just can put it here. On this side here, another pocket, and this is the last vintage picture, which is, I guess, shoreline again. You can see there's like the sea here. I guess this is rocks. Got that from the same lady that gave me the rest. And this is, I'm just gonna put this back here, but this one here is like a big pocket here, like that. This is not tracing paper, but embroidery paper with the butterflies. So as you can see, lots of butterflies, lots of like images of flowers, and this you can open up like this. And this is the other side of, again, this same paper from my grandfather's notebook. Again, some vintage Dave, the other side of this mushroom booklet. And that's it here. I use a file folder too. She could put names, she could write on it. I just didn't want to put so much because like she could put a beautiful picture on it. Like I just wanted her to like put her own stuff. And inside, little pocket here, and inside I just put some graph. And this is really like debits and credits and balance. This is a checking like paper, like a vintage one, so she could use it if she wanted to, like, you know, calculate whatever, some sort of like spending on her trip. And this is it, guys. This is our journal. I hope she will like it. I mean, she better like it. I put so much time and effort in it. I'm the longest like journaler. It took me like 6 months to do, but like I stopped a lot in between. There was summer, I went on vacation, like I could stop for like weeks and weeks on ends, you know. So but I'm pretty proud. I think she's gonna like it. I think it's her style, and I feel like there's a lot of spaces for her to add her own personality stuff to write, and then it's very versatile as well. So that's it. Have a good day.